Ever wonder why every election season there's a school levy to be decided? According to the Ohio Education Policy Institute, the Buckeye State has the most school levies on the ballot than any other state. We spoke with a research consultant with the organization who tells us it's all by design. Ohio's primary election is next Tuesday, and the Ohio Education Policy Institute says there are 92 school levies on the ballot for Ohioans to consider.
We do vote more than any other state, and the reason for that is because of the way our property tax works. We have a law called House Bill 920, which dates back to 1976, and it was put into the state constitution in 1980. And what it does is that when properties are reappraised by the county auditor every 3 years, House Bill 920 rolls back the millage rate so that the tax rates typically get reduced and people are protected from having to pay more on their taxes because their house has increased in value due to inflation.
That's Dr. Howard Fleeter. He's a research consultant with OEPI and a longtime economist. He says since 1984, Ohioans have had 16,000 school levies on the ballots.
And that works out to 398 per year on average.
So why so many levies? Dr. Fleeter says in Ohio, schools must get voters' approval first to increase the millage.
When inflation raises property values, it's also raising costs for all those types of local governments, but their local revenue typically does not go up. So that means that schools and other local governments have to go on the ballot in order to raise more money just to keep up with inflation. And so that's why we vote so often.
And with constant voting, Dr. Fleeter says school districts are adjusting their approach to limit voter fatigue. He says if you're on the ballot every 4 years, after 40 or so years, you've been on the ballot 10 or 11 times.
And it's starting to create a real problem. And I think that's part of the reason we've seen fewer school levies the last 9, 10 years than we typically have, is districts are doing everything they can to stay off the ballot.